Hello, everybody. It's Mary O'Sullivan, and I'm going to read a little bit more from my book, The Leader You Don't Want to Be. And this is from chapter 11. It's regarding ethics. And I called this chapter, Ethics Doesn't Live Here Anymore. So I'll begin by telling you a story. Many years ago, when I was just starting a new position in a large organization, it didn't take long to realize that the place was run by a classic version of cowboy management. In particular, a wide disparity between personal and organizational ethics existed. I was recruited to my new job as the leader of a brand new group to create and manage policies and procedures that would also be new to the organization. My previous job was similar, however, that was with a competitor to the company that hired me, and the two cultures could not have been more different. In my previous job, ethics was a serious subject. Ethics violations, or even the appearance of impropriety, carried serious consequences: termination, suspension, or even up to and including civil damages. Ethics was such a serious matter because there was a history of ethical violations, and the government came down hard with fines and sanctions. And so they learned their lesson. Culture shock does not adequately describe the laxity and tolerance of ethical violations that I observed in my new workplace. My new company apparently had slid under the radar with their unethical behaviors, especially when it came to interpersonal relationships. The moral compass of this company balanced precariously between the written ethics policies and documentation and the unethical behavior of its employees at all levels. Without ethics to guide people, especially managers, it seemed we were operating in the Wild West, complete with cowboy managers. When some new dramatic organizational changes took place within the management team, the ethical behavior acceptance to management noticeably deteriorated, especially at the local site level. An ill wind blew through, like opening Pandora's box, and it unleashed a panoply of unfortunate events affecting all areas of the business. Diversity and inclusion seemed to fly out the window. And the good old boys network became more firmly entrenched than ever. In particular, I was appalled to see the treatment of women change from marginalization to outright sexist behavior. At least 4 women were forced out or resigned due to sexist treatment by their bosses. Other ethical messes entailed outrageous behavior by more than one man in charge. One woman, who was the wife of a vice president, used her role as his wife to access company assets, her personal use of a company-employed secretary to manage her personal appointments, set up cable TV installations, use company employees to set up her internet access, and more were well out of the range of organizational or personal ethics. It was well known that personal ethical violations had ruined the military career of the same vice president. So what behavior could the organization expect? Still, another vice president trampled over people, specifically women, and attempted to cover his tracks when the situation heated up. Highly educated, qualified women were overlooked for promotions, left out of key meetings, and denied important travel. Women who spoke up or disagreed were completely ignored. Women who complained about bad treatment had the tables turned. Suddenly, they were the poor performers or disruptors, and the outcome was either lost wages or to be placed on an improvement plan. Women became invisible. In my experience there, I saw many managers at the mid-levels who lacked basic ethical codes of conduct and closed their eyes to breaches of this behavior. Some openly participated in misleading their management about sales numbers, proper use of policies, and ethical client interactions. They thought they bought into the idea of cowboy management and thought that by doing whatever it took to get the results, they were completely justified. And my next section of this chapter is called Ethical Messes Do Catch Up with the Cowboys. And I'll leave it to you to read the rest of chapter 11 when you get my book, The Leader You Don't Want to Be. And remember, everybody, we're kicking this book off and officially launching it on April the 27th, starting at 10 a.m. So I'll be on Facebook Live and we'll have a lot of interesting things to do and activities for you to participate in and free giveaways and a lot of other interesting things. So tune in, look for the Facebook Live starting at 10 a.m. on Facebook Live, and I will send you the link if you're interested. Thanks, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.